So the Fed continues to raise interest rates by 0.25 basis points, but the market is still rallying hard. What the heck is going on here? Stephan is bullish. He just recently posted a video with a thumbnail showing Michael Burry buy. But is that really the case? Because if we take a look at Michael Burry's Twitter here, the archive of Michael Burry, it just says to sell. It simply says sell. But I guess Stephan wants to correct Michael Burry because obviously markets are rallying hard, so maybe it is time to buy. Let's go ahead and take a look at some of our favorite financial YouTubers and see what they think about the new interest rate hike.
I believe that the Fed went with 0.25%, so instead of 0.5%, because they do not want to over-tighten financial conditions. There is a lag effect. I definitely agree with Paul on that one. The interest rate increases that they've previously done, I believe that that's going to run its course, and we're really going to see that in Q1 and Q2 of this year. We have not seen the full effects of that because of the lag effect, and I think that we're going to really see the economy hurting in Q1 and Q2.
So with this new hike, it sounds like Brian is still a bear. And next up, our favorite trader, Garreth Soloway, tweets, Jerome Powell, dovish tone today. Smart money has to start wondering what he sees on the horizon in terms of a recession as to why he wants to pivot so quick. Always think 2 steps ahead. Something is up and he is looking at the real data behind the scenes. Garreth thinks the Fed might be looking at some real data behind the scenes and possibly predicting a recession. Therefore, he thinks that Jerome Powell might be wanting to pivot so quickly. So Garreth has been pretty bearish lately. He thinks that the markets are gonna pop up a little bit, rally in the short term, but overall crash towards the middle of 2023. And it sounds like to me with this tweet, Garreth is still a bear. And next up, Chicken Genius Singapore, and he recently tweeted after the Fed hike, why are markets rallying? Because don't underestimate stupidity. A real Fed pivot, rate cuts, comes when there is widespread panic. If everything looks good, if you are the Fed, why pivot? What's the incentive? Few understand this. Patience, my friends. It sounds like Ken from Chicken Genius Singapore. He is still very, very bearish. He's been bearish for a while now. He thinks the markets are gonna go down only until the Fed pivots, and that's only when the markets will begin to rally again. But until then, stay on the sidelines and start a new hobby is what he recommends. The trend continues. It sounds like Chicken Genius Singapore is a bear. So far, all the people I'm following is pretty bearish. Okay, let's see what Joseph Carlson thinks about this most recent Fed hike.
The Federal Reserve just announced a 25 basis point interest rate rise. This is viewed as a positive thing right now from the market. And my concern here is that a lot of investors are going to repeat the same mistakes that they made in 2020. A renewed enthusiasm to jump in to low quality stocks. And while this might be fun in the short term, it always ends the same way. And that's where I'm issuing another warning. This is what I've seen happen over and over again that suckers in new investors to the market of making dramatically bad investing mistakes.
All right, did that surprise you? Did you think Joseph Carlson was gonna be a bull? I don't think so. It sounds to me like Joseph Carlson is a bear. And the bear trend continues. All right, next up we have Ricky G. Let's see what he thinks about the Fed rate hike.
So the federal funds rate, again, is now anywhere from 4.5 to 4.75%. There is a 0.25% interest rate hike. This is what was already factored into the market. Anything higher than 0.25%, the market would have aggressively sold off. It would have corrected itself. Normally, after a rate hike, the market would close in the red. This time it closed in the green. The more that something becomes overbought and the less it corrects itself, the more overbought it becomes, the quicker and the harder it will fall. All I don't want to happen is, if I can make this video, to simply encourage you to have some form of exit plan if we do begin to see a correction and or a pullback.
So with this pump in the stock market, it sounds like Ricky is preparing for a dump, a pullback perhaps. To me, it really does sound like Ricky is a bear. Man, is there anybody that I follow that is bullish? All right, next up, let's go ahead and take a look at the very last person, Benjamin Cowen. So he recently tweeted, my takeaway from the FOMC meeting is that Powell seems optimistic. that inflation is coming down, but does not want to prematurely declare victory, as this was a mistake many of his predecessors made just before inflation came back. Kinda does sound like he's bullish, because if we go ahead and take a look at his more recent tweets, he says that Bitcoin is almost at $25,000. So much convergence at $25,000. We have the 50-week SMA moving down into 25K. We have the 200-week SMA moving up to 25K. 25K also marks the summer of 2022 top. The only thing not at 25K is the price of BTC. So to me, at least, it kind of sounds like Benjamin is a bull. He's been a bear for all of 2022 stacking cash. And so now it kind of sounds like maybe he's a bear bull? Seems like everybody on this list that I follow is very bearish, even after the 0.25 interest rate hikes. When they're lowering interest rate hikes, they still feel bearish. They really feel like the Fed needs to begin to print again. They need to pivot, and then soon after that, the bottom will come. That will be a good time to actually invest a lot of money and feel safe knowing that the Fed is starting to inject money back into the system. All the bulls, though, they're definitely having their time with this bear market rally. See in the comments of all of their posts saying, you don't know what you're talking about and you're getting wrecked. And so the bulls are definitely getting their time at the moment. And so I'm personally just sitting back waiting, stacking cash. I always still invest, though. I dollar cost average, but I just don't do it as aggressively as I used to during the time when the Fed is printing money. But anyways, guys, I would love to hear what you're doing at the moment. Are you bullish? Are you bearish? Let me know down in the comments. If you like the video, definitely hit that thumbs up button. It really helps out a lot. Also, subscribe to the channel if you want more videos like these. All right, my name is Jimmy Invest, and I'll catch you in the next video. Peace.